I have often think about that Christian people, they train in goodness.
Okay.
And but I have a feeling that goodness will come by itself. And I have also think that maybe it is okay to train or not to. Both.
To train or not to train, that is the question. Okay. Yeah. You know, do you remember that some of you here anyway, you've heard me say that a long, long time ago I had a look at this book, The Course in Miracles, and there's some pretty good stuff in that book. And I think I've said to you before that one of my favourite passages in the Course in Miracles, it's something like this. Forgiveness is part of the illusion, but it's part of the illusion that will take you home. Right? Because ultimately, when you really awaken to who you really are, you know that there's nobody here to forgive and there's nobody over there to be forgiven. But until that becomes your reality, working with forgiveness, you know, if you have closed down to your heart because you can't forgive somebody, working with forgiveness, even though it's an illusion, can help you to get to the space where you can see through the illusion. And I often say to people now, you know, find out which parts of the illusion can take you home, can take you beyond the illusion, and work with it. So when you talk about this in the Christian religion, working with or training for goodness, something like this you said, it's a little bit like this, you know, that you work on something, you work with something, but it's like it's not the deepest level. It's true what you say, that real goodness, the real thing, it comes from very deep within. But what can happen is if you work with goodness, if you work with loving kindness, if you work with forgiveness, something can happen so that you maybe cleanse some of the dust around the heart, so you can come deeper into the layers of the heart chakra. And then because of this, you will have an experience of real goodness. So, it's always like this with religions, Satya. You know, ultimately anybody who really wants this awakening, they have to be willing to leave religion behind. Not many people wake up through religion, because it's on a certain level and doesn't go much further than that. So it's true what you're saying. Real goodness, it's like a state within that arises. But all of these goodies that are waiting within us to arise, it's like sometimes, you know, you've got to do a bit of deep cleaning first, so that these things can come up. Why did you think about this? What made you think about it?
I think it's I have think about it for many years. I have a feeling of falseness in Christian people. They are so good, and I don't like it. So I would rather be not good instead of false.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But you know, this is again something I've talked about in different ways with you, with some of you throughout the years. That real spiritual awakening is to do with peeling away the layers, peeling away all these identities that people have built up throughout the years. So in the end they stand there naked, centered in nothingness, as I often call it. But this isn't what religion is about. Religion isn't really about stripping away the layers. It's very often about helping people to be good, and who decides what is good and what is bad. It's not people with an enlightened consciousness who are leading the religions on the planet. I think I've often said that if anybody really needed to have a religion, maybe the Buddhist religion would be one of the better ones to have, because they have some very fine meditation techniques. And also one of the strongest teachings of Buddhism is non-attachment, non-identification and non-attachment. And this is also a direct path to awakening. But a lot of the other religions, what actually happens is that people take the teachings and they take the teachings from the level they have been given, which is not from an enlightened level, and they use them to kind of, my first guru, he used to say, polish the bars of the prison. People are in prison. Real awakening sets people free. But what people often do is they polish the bars of the prison. They're not interested in breaking free. They're just interested in having a better role to play in this drama. So working with goodness can be a way of polishing the bars of your prison. So you shine a bit more. You look a bit nicer. And you know, this is how it works. But when people are ready to move beyond that, they're not interested in that. They're interested in truth. You know? So you're not interested in false goodness. You'd rather awaken. You'd rather live in truth, even if that means you or other people here, you know, going through some years of not being very nice at all. Right? You'd rather be true in that.